What's up, guys? Welcome to Daily Dose of Reddit. This is your host, Zach, and today's subreddit is r/SupernovaRevenge. This story's called OP kills entitled couple with some malicious compliance. And then it's a cross post. A heavy story. If you look for wholesome content, please scroll past it. I'm neither sure if this is the place to post it, nor if I should do so in general, but I just can't keep it in anymore. I truly hope I will not get in any way recognized, but at this point, I find it unlikely enough to be willing to share this story here. And if it does come back to bite me, then, well, maybe it should. The thing happened in early 1990s. The relevant historical background to this is that Poland haven't really left the communist bloc just yet. First free elections happened in 1989, but the process of escaping Russian influence, basically only doing what Moscow or their minions told them to, took a while, and at the time of the story, the police wasn't necessarily used to doing its job properly. One of such poorly handled cases was the abuse of my next-door neighbor's daughter. I'll spare you most details, just know that the worst thing you can imagine happening to a young girl in such a scenario did, in fact, happen many times. They were horrible, horrible people, and I hated them with all of my being. I can't stress that enough. To the story. A couple of years later, after I had already moved away, I was visiting family, and since I was a little early, 6 a.m., I stopped at a gas station I once worked at to chat with my old pals and wait for the sun to get a little higher. We were sitting in a little nook behind the counter, and lo and behold, who would come in if not the aforementioned neighbors? He pointed at something and went back out to fuel their car. She approached the counter, noticed me, and snarked, "You're back here? I guess your studies didn't go that well." Actually, I did. "Yeah, sure, whatever. How much did he go for?" "100. I'm asking him." "I didn't come back to work. I'm just visiting." "Stop lying to me. You're just ashamed that you failed in life. Now come and inflate our tires. Now! Unlike you, we don't have all day to sit and chat." I was so pissed. I legitimately hated them already, but this encounter, after so much time of being away from them, just completely took me off balance. I told my friends, it's okay, I'll just do it. I went with her. I inflated one side correctly. I overinflated the other side so much, I thought the tire was going to explode in my face then and there. They weren't even paying attention to me. The second I was done, and before I could even realize what I had just done, they took off. They crashed a few kilometers down the road. They both died. I have never heard of any investigation reaching the station. Whoa. Well, OP definitely, jeez. Just goes to show what happens to those who decide to do nasty things like that. They crash and burn. This story's called Repeatedly Break Into a Cabin? Watch Your Head! Not a native speaker, so typos in words might be missing, so I'll just explain the few words I don't know. Firstly, this isn't mine. It's from a book, yes, I like reading, called Quale Ven Cadesti. Absolutely beautiful pronunciation. You Only Die Twice, where the writer, from what I understood, is a morgue worker where dead people's bodies go, who has been working for a long time. Also, he's been hearing some stories. Secondly, it might be a little exaggerated. It also happened in Finland, so the laws are different. Lastly, we Finns usually go to our cabins only a few times a year, in the summer and winter. Now, on to the story, shall we? Apparently, there was a thief robber man who repeatedly broke into a Finnish man's cabin. The owner got pissed, so he bought some bear traps and put them across the inside of his cabin and left. He thought that the thief would be able to open the claws if he had stepped on it. Well, the thief didn't get a chance. When the owner came back next winter, he saw the thief dead on the floor with the claws around his crushed head. Apparently, when he broke through the window, he didn't go feet first like a normal person, but he dove in head first. Guess he didn't get the chance to say, "You should have gone for the head." I know, it sucked. The owner called the cops and they checked the crime scene out, and because the bear traps were inside his cabin, he didn't even get a warning. If they would have been in the yard, it would have been a different story. I guess you could say that thief met his finish line real quick. Ha ha! This story's called The Golden Rule is a Bimbo. Aggressive customer tries to shoot me. I work security at a local gun store. I'm assuming. And a man that visits the store about once or twice a week refuses to wear a mask. Now, I live in Houston, ayo, where crap's pretty bad, so after the third or fourth time he refused to wear a mask, we ask him to leave our store and never to return. The man gets hostile with us, but after a few half-hearted punches, he leaves the store saying, "I'll freaking get you!" as he walks away. Now, I've worked security here for about 6 years, so I doubt I'll ever see the man again. About a week passes, and I never see the guy. But when we open the week before Labor Day, he comes in at about 7, an hour before we close. He browses for a while, with a mask this time. I can't help but notice something fishy about him. He reaches into his coat. Luckily, I hit the deck fast enough to avoid his initial burst. I pull my gun and hit him in the torso once or twice. He shambles his way out the door, and I run to go call 911. I'm on my way over when I smell a strong metallic odor. I get to the desk and see my boss and a good friend lying on the floor, half his head missing. I stumble for a moment before calling the police. I give the operator the rundown and start tailing the man. I ask permission to make a traffic stop and am given permission. I make an attempt to pull him over but can't. I eventually spin him out and approach the vehicle. I see no movement from the car, and when I look through the window, I see that he's dead. When the cops and paramedics arrive, they confirmed his death. Turned out he was mentally impaired. I go to my friend's funeral tomorrow. Edit. Thank you guys for all the support. Glad to get this one out there. Stay safe. Okay, well, admittedly, I haven't heard of this story on the news, but that's probably because I don't really consume local news. I know, bad citizen, but OP, sorry for your loss, and well, thank you for your tale of badassery. That sucks, but good thing you got him. This story's called, Do You Know What Karma Means? That's a camera. So this is a bit long. Well, this is a story from high school. The characters are me, Trevor, the bullied kid, James,
Nora, the hero.
my cousin Joe. All names aren't their real names, obviously. Well, Trevor was the school bully, and not only that, the quarterback of the football team. The guy was a complete ass. He'd bully everyone and anyone who spoke up, got shut down because his dad was a cop. He was also a jerk, so no one really cares what Trevor did. My cousin was also on the football team and was childhood best friends with a guy named Nora. A guy? Oh, okay. Nora was 5'9" and Trevor was 6'1". This is important later. Well, Nora legit had a superpower of just having dirt on everyone in the school. Got your ass kicked by a girl? He knew. Mom's a meth head? Dad hits you? You cheated on your girlfriend with a guy? Etc, etc. You get the point. He knew these things because he never stood out. He just blend in with the background and people just say their secrets when he was around minding his own business. Well, James and Nora had the same body type, skinny and not much of a threat. Well, because Nora had dirt on people, no one messed with him. But James was bullied all the time by Trevor. Nora didn't like anyone in our school, so he was kind of a loner everyone knew, but had a few friends. He'd always hang out with my cousin because they were childhood best friends. Well, one day at lunch, Trevor is, of course, being a jerk. He goes and messes with James, who is just playing on his 2DS, minding his own business. Trevor takes it and throws it in the trash, which is already filled with others' food and gunk. James starts crying, and Trevor laughs and sits down. Now, next to Trevor on his right is my cousin, and I'm sitting at a table next to theirs. These tables are near a wall. I was about to stand up and cuss this jerk out, but I had this gut feeling I shouldn't because someone else would, and I was right because I noticed across the room from the bathroom doorway was Nora. Now I should explain what he was wearing. A black shirt, jeans, and a belt. He strolls over and I think a fight is about to start, but no. Nora leans down to my cousin and says he needs to show him something he found on a video game they both play. They stand up and lean against the wall. Well, he takes out his phone and they start talking for a good 5 minutes. Nora puts his phone away and says, "Man, this is annoying." "What is?" "This belt." He took off his belt and folded it. "My mom makes me wear belts all the time, but I think this one is worn out because I've been misusing it." I was super confused because it looked brand new, but my cousin got the answer for me. "Misusing it doing what?" "This." Nora walks up behind Trevor and hits the table in between Trevor and the guy to his left. Trevor looks to his left, and just as he does, I crap you you not. Nora kicks the right side of Trevor's head with his right leg. Nora grabbed the back of his head and slams it on the table over and over and threw him on the floor, where he starts kicking the crap out of him in the chest, face, and stomach. Everyone is shocked and says nothing until Nora yells at him. "You screw with him again and it'll be worse. That goes for all of you." He yells this at the cafeteria and walks out. I wish I could say the story was over. Is it? Wrong! Skip ahead next week, and Nora gets jumped by Trevor over the weekend. Black eye, bruised ribs, and a broken arm. Well, Nora's dad files a police report, but it's thrown aside because his dad, the cop, has friends in high places, and they make it up as gang-related and ignore it. Skip ahead 3 weeks, and Nora is back in school and looks better from when he was beaten up and has a cast on. He and my cousin are hanging out like nothing happened. I joined them. "Are you alright?" "Don't worry, Karma will catch up to him." "Are you gonna jump him?" "Don't worry about it." The rest of the year goes by, and Nora's arm is healed, and nothing seems to happen, so I thought it was over. But the school had an overnight trip out of the city. It was for college, so most of the juniors and all of the seniors go. I room with my cousin and Nora. We stayed up all night playing Uno and games. We passed out in the morning, headed back to school. Well, a few days back, and I noticed something. I don't see Trevor. He was missing from school for a good few months. I heard from a friend that he had been attacked in his hotel room. He got his own room and met an older woman earlier that day, and she let in 4 larger men over 6'5" who beat him up and shattered both of his kneecaps. Football career over. No one saw the men enter or leave the hotel, which was weird. Police find nothing and call him a dumbass for picking up a random woman he didn't even know. I thought it was Nora and some friends, but he's shorter and was with us all night, which was weird. Skip ahead a few years to last year, 2018. I visit from college and meet up with my cousin. "Hey, you want to go to a barbecue?" "Sure, whose barbecue?" "Remember Nora?" "You still talk to him?" "Sure, why not?" We get to his place and Nora greets us. We go into his backyard and it's his mom and older brother. Cool, we talk and drink a bit. After 30 minutes, more of Nora's family show up, and a few of them are in uniform. They were his cousins stopping in from their base to say hi. Turns out, a lot of his cousins are in the military and were over 6 feet tall. Okay, cool. That's until I overhear 2 in uniform and 2 who are dressed normal just drop. "Remember that guy we jumped in the hotel?" And they start laughing and talking about the details of the event like it was normal. "What the fuck? Are you guys talking about Trevor?" "I told you, Karma's a bimbo." This confirms it all. The attack, the woman, all of it. I just have to ask, why did you stick up for James that day and not any other? It's pretty messed up seeing someone bully your uncle. Freaking turns out James, who is 2 years younger than Nora, is his uncle. Because Nora's grandparents got divorced, but Nora's grandfather, James's dad, knocked up a younger woman in her 30s and was born 2 years after Nora. The 2DS was James's last birthday gift from his dad before he died of a heart attack, and Nora loved his grandfather, so it sent him over the edge. Whoa! Damn, I did not expect that. I was confused, but they explained at the end. Man, I don't know what to say. It's cool having family look out for you, but damn. This story's called Girlfriend Cheated on Me, so I took a 2,769 euro Uber ride from Paris to, Białystok, I don't know. Posting this for a friend. Me and my ex are from Białystok, Poland. I was in Paris and I broke up with her because someone posted a Snapchat and she was making out with some other dude. Turns out that cooter was doing this for a couple of weeks. Well, my flight from Paris to Warsaw got canceled and the only easy way to get there was by car. I couldn't find a viable bus or train route at the time. Mostly they were overbooked or there was some other issue, so I took an Uber from Paris to Białystok. I had card issues when I needed an Uber, so the Uber app on my phone was connected to her card. I was also pissed as hell at my ex, so I didn't really give a crap about her, so I said screw it, let's do it. The first 3 drivers I tried didn't want to drive that far, but the 4th one let me. He was from Ukraine and wanted to get back to Ukraine anyway, which is pretty close to Białystok, so this worked out perfectly. We drove there and it took like 17 hours. I got to Białystok late at night and fell asleep sleep. Holy crap, my ex was pissed. I woke up to like 15 missed calls and 40 texts saying she was going to sue me and ruin my life and I'm a horrible person and I need to pay her back. I told her to step off and she can go back to sucking my former best friend's penis. Everyone else is pissed at me saying what I did was petty, but I think I'm in the right here. If my ex went around sucking my best friend's penis and making out with other dudes at the party, she deserved it. No, I wouldn't say go that far. I mean, just using that much energy on her is honestly too much. Way more than she's worth. Best bet is to just act like you never even knew her. I would get her, but I mean, we all have our methods. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell to never miss an episode.